Hello, everybody, and welcome to PGS Tracks. I am your host, RM, and of course, tonight we have with us Julian Mushkin. How are you tonight, Julian?
I am doing super RM. How about yourself?
I am doing very, very well. I am much better than I was last week, Julian. Um, I feel 100% better. I actually rested for a few hours before this show, so I do feel refreshed. And you and I both looked at Paramount, and we noticed that the show apparently is up a little bit before what we thought, which is very interesting. Um, and I can't explain it. I don't know why, but that's okay. It might actually be shown a little bit earlier than 3 a.m. So if that's the case, everybody who's watching, Julian and I may adjust the time of the show to a little bit earlier. Maybe it's available at 2 or 1 or something like that. So without further ado, guys, we have the count up clock here, which Julian and I are going to show you. We're going to start at 1 minute and 39 seconds into the episode. You're going to see it'll say a CBS Studios production on the screen. If you go to 1 minute 39 seconds, and Hunter, I'm glad you're playing Hogwarts Legacy. So glad you're enjoying it. It is a great game, isn't it? Um, yeah, thanks, Hunter, for letting us know. Yes, absolutely, guys. We're gonna press. I'm gonna say engage, I guess, or start. Everybody, we're at 1 minute and 39 seconds. What you'll see on the screen, it's after the preview. Sorry, after the review of last week's episode. So what you're gonna see is everything that happened in last week, and then the next thing you'll see at 1 minute 39, 1 minute 39 or 1 minute 38, you'll see it'll say a CBS Studios production. That's where we're going to start the show. So everybody, get are you ready, Julian?
I am.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, press play. He's a bit shifty, Julian.
Yeah.
It's a gun stealer. He's like a war profiteer or something.
Yeah, I
Oh, interesting. Okay, guys, so it says present day. Snarky remark.
it's kind of meta also.
Oh my goodness. Part 2, disengage.
At least they're brief.
This is getting good.
Oh, jeez.
What? And hello to Medallion, Hunter, Tom Jr. Jackson is out there, Thomas Bertholdi. Hope you guys are well and enjoying the episode. How's Father? And Bandit MD11 and Donnie Pearson. Hope you all are well. And hello, Okaya Kono from London. Hope you are well.
Hey. Well, he's sticking to his guns right now.
Yeah. He's very slippery. He's got like this, kind of I'm out of here. I don't care who you guys are kind of feel to it. Yeah, I agree, Thomas. The opening does look incredible. What?
Huh.
What was that? No worries, Hunter. Catch us in a few, like in 40 minutes or so, and we'll be talking about the episode. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Bill Borgero. Oh, wow. Look at these graphics. That looks awesome, Julian. Oh, what? Oh, what? What do you call that, Julian? What do you call that? Tractor beam blocking.
Still a good shot.
Where's Beverly?
What about Beverly?
We're seeing Star Trek Picard season 3 episode 2. Hello, Cuba Libre. So good to see you and welcome. You can see the point we are in the program there. That was really interesting, Thomas Bertholdi.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea where Beverly is. I have to assume they beamed her up too, but I didn't see it. They didn't show it, right, Julian? We didn't see that.
No, I'm sure they're going to explain in the next section with them.
Rafi, it's so hard for her right now. He's essentially telling her to choose between her family or Starfleet, right, Julian?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I was wondering.
Oh.
Hmm.
She's like a cowboy.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Oh man. Oh goodness gracious. That's gonna leave a mark. Yeah, they're like, we gotta talk to you, mister. All eyes are on him.
Dismissive.
Oh shit. Mm.
Yoo-hoo, Worf.
Oh my gosh, I just realized that. I just realized it was him. Slicing and dicing. He he looks amazing.
Slicing and dicing. Why would they have an access point inside the cell? Anyone? Anyone? It's the first stupid thing I've seen.
He wants to get answers from Beverly, and I don't think she can give them in her state. What do you think, Julian? I love it. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh god. All right, so we have more of these screens, Julian.
So far, they're the same, aren't they?
I don't know. Yeah, it looks the same. I just want to watch to the end to see if it is the same screens. I'm sure it is, but maybe that's the unknown weapon that they're showing us now. So they keep showing this holodeck thing. I wonder what the holodeck has to do with this.
Well, the other thing that's interesting is in showing. I noticed on that video that you had me look at was that the holodeck thing seems to be running a program about 10 forward in LA.
Interesting.
Which is where Picard and Riker met. So I'm like, or what's going on? Are we in an elaborate holodeck thing right now?
This is a good question. I don't know. I
Because
really don't know.
the Moriarty hologram is part of this thing, but maybe I don't know. That's weird. I still don't buy the whole he's my son. Maybe he believes that right now, but I want to know what. I don't. I would be. It's too obvious. I would be disappointed if that was actually it. Still, I like the episode.
I don't know what to say. It was first of all, it was a very entertaining episode.
Yeah.
And I think that it was fun to see Shaw, Captain Shaw, go through these levels of anxiety where he's like, he's had maybe a pretty quiet career over the past 5 years. And now this is like the worst case scenario for him, so to speak, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, I think it's great that Shaw is having that uncomfortable feeling. And, you, Julian, you and I are going to watch this again and then, have a review of it, of course, at a later date for everybody. But it certainly is very interesting to look at this because it was just so fun to watch. I haven't had that much fun in I don't know how long. It was just entertaining. I mean, seeing Worf slicing and dicing, I was not expecting that. And I thought that was very interesting. She didn't say anything to him, but that look, I guess. What is a look can say 1,000 things, but I don't know. That's why Riker wanted to revive her, but I thought if they revived her, it would kill her because she was in like a bad physical state.
Well, yeah, but the assumption is the ship they were on did not have the power to be able to work on her. That's why they put her in stasis. Being in the med lab on the starship, I'm sure they were able to give her more care that helped more conveniently than what was available on her ship.
Yeah, and Botrek, yeah, I thought that makeup was great with his tats on his lobes and all that sort. At least I thought there might have been a tap on a lobe, but it was really interesting to see Ferengi wheeling and dealing and looking like he had the upper hand. Certainly, you know,
Is that the first time we've seen a Ferengi with piercings in his lobes, his ears?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because knowing how sensitive Ferengi ears are, that is provocative in itself. A Ferengi with piercings in their ears is almost like, well, maybe like nipples and labia, being pierced.
Well, this is going. Yeah, maybe it is. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is very uh out there, I guess, in what he's doing with his body. And Wakashashi C House says, I'm looking forward to watching it this Friday. You don't have access till Friday, huh? Hope you're well and hope this new episode is great. It is great. So nice to hear from you, Wakajashi's Tea House, and all of you here hearing hearing you give your comments. Okaya Kono says deep down he knew. That's why Picard asked who his father was. Um, Interesting. Some of you guys are saying, I don't think it's his kid. Um, Shaw's moment was amazing. I have to say, Julian, what did you think about how Shaw has kind of turned around? He thought he was in easy retirement and getting along, but he should have known better than to have 7 of 9 as one of his commanders.
I don't know how involved they are all the time with who they're going to be able to get. That video that you suggested I watch about the end credits stuff had a lot of things about Shaw at least, being on board a starship, the Constance, which was at the Battle of Wolf 359, and it's possible that either he was given the time period, he could have been a young ensign. He
Mm-hmm.
could have been on board that ship, and it may have given him some issues with the Borg and with Picard. He could have family that was lost during that battle, so he does have some things going on that I don't know if they'll tell us more about that later. But
Yeah, and of course, Julian, you're talking about the Trek Yards. They revealed the secrets, which apparently are the same end credits, Julian, right?
so
For
one
episode
you
two.
sent me was not Trek Yards, actually.
Oh, was it a different one?
Yeah, it was some gentleman. What is the Celtic Trek geek or something like that? Welsh Trek geek. I can't remember what it was, but some guy in England. He had a very pronounced accent, and he was
Yeah.
going through all the stuff. I haven't done the Trek Yards one,
Well,
but
I'll
they
pull up
probably
the
saw
one.
some of the same stuff.
Yeah, I see the one you're talking about. Let me just copy it. The Trek Yards was the last one that I looked at because I've looked at a few of them, for obvious reasons because we love this stuff and we can't get enough of it. Yeah, but I'm gonna pull up the other one, the one that I sent you. Let me just pause it for a sec. So it's that old Yorkshire geek, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Um,
it.
the name of that gentleman, and I'll just stop sharing Trek Yards, who's also pretty good, and then just show that old Yorkshire geek um here, and I'll maximize that, and you can see him there kind of looking at the screens and the music. from there, the different analysis. This was the screen that had the it's sort of like
the constants. Yeah,
yeah, and then
with lots of redactions.
yeah, a lot of redactions.
The ship was lost in action.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he may have had family on board that ship.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Thing
because it mentions a Shaw.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, he was reading it, and it mentions a Shaw.
And then there was this this scene here. I don't even know what we're looking at here.
That's the starbase.
Okay.
And the space dock and everything.
Yeah, it looks great.
I think, or at one point he was looking at that could be actually the ship museum, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Geordi is supposed to be on that or something like that.
Yeah.
And here, oh yeah, you're right. Fleet Museum, 8th and Prime, Voyager, Pioneer. Well, we all know Voyager.
Enterprise A, yeah.
And then there was here we could see some other diagnostics here, and then he goes on to talk about here Picard 4-7 Alpha. That's the message, I guess, passcode. Captain Liam Shaw, Starfleet Officer Performance. And that I'm assuming that it's name and rank. I thought it would be Commander Annika so and so, but I don't know. Do not seek blame, and all the sort of stuff for this investigation.
Yeah, that shows up a bunch of times.
Yeah, and then this genetic code. I mean, I guess I could go ahead and see what the codons stand for if I wanted to.
And then at some, see up here it says Picard. Oh, go back just, it says like Picard something base pairs. Picard data base pairs.
DNA base
pairs. DNA, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess if you looked at this screen and you looked at the other screen, you could determine whether or not it was his kid.
Well, maybe, but that's when I saw that, I was thinking maybe that's why I was thinking maybe this kid is a combination of both Jack and Jean-Luc.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I mean, to me, he actually does look a little bit more like Jack Crusher. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be something, Picard waltzes in there, he sees this kid, and he's looking at this kid who reminds him of his old friend from, almost 40 years ago or whatever. So that would be a trip for him.
It would be this is something that Zigzag says, finally after 20 years some good Trek. This is a very interesting episode, I think, because we kind of got Worf in the episode.
Yeah.
And Beverly is now awake. Captain Picard or Admiral Picard and Riker are there. The team is starting to assemble, or at least it feels that way.
Yeah.
Very directly. Hi, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Hope you're well. But I think that it's very interesting. The Amanda Plummer character, who wants this young man. Maybe what they're showing is that he's genetically enhanced as well, Julian.
Oh yeah, that's a possibility.
Abuse that genetic enhancement. I don't know, but yeah. This is a good question. Why would she clone her husband as her kid? I think clones were outlawed in this group. I don't know whether he's a clone. I think they may be outlawed. Julian, do you know? From what I remember, they're outlawed. They're not allowed pretty much in Starfleet. Am I incorrect on that?
I don't know about clones, but I do know that messing around with the genes is because of the eugenics war and everything, that was not permitted, and that there was a big flap well, we saw it in Strange New Worlds when they took away Una #1 at the end of the season because she was, one of those. I can't remember what
Yeah, I know
the
what you're talking
planet
about.
was.
She was
Yeah,
genetically altered somehow.
but yeah, she was genetically altered because they needed to be so that they could survive on the planet. And then there was also Deep Space Nine and Julian, whose parents genetically altered him also, and it was a big fight to make sure he could stay in Starfleet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I,
it's something to think about. I'm going to go back to the Trek Yards one just to see what they kind of were showing when they were looking at those end credits to Julian. I should have sent you the other one. I'm sorry that I did not. I apologize for that. Trek Yards also did very similar analysis, as I said, about those end credits, which I think are more important than they appear to be, Julian. And I know you looked at them, and you and I have kind of been talking about them. And honestly, they just look so cool that I was just so happy to even see anything like this. This looks like the ship that's attacking them. Is this the ship you think that is?
yeah, it looks like it. Well, somewhat.
I can't tell. I cannot tell why that would be on there. And we're not. Maybe they did show.
That might be
Um,
one of those smaller attack craft that attacked them earlier.
yes, and this is the part you were talking about, the holodeck, where it says initiating holo sequence program forward
Yeah, it
bar
says 10
LA.
forward. Yeah.
Safety protocols offline, and of course that's where you said they meet. So there was that, and I wondered if that music was significant or whether that was the music from the episode. But then they also show this kind of cranial thing, and then maybe that's Picard's brain. I mean, is he still a robot? They said that Amanda Plummer's character said that he still is, more or less, right?
I yes. I think the Yorkshire Geek guy, when he was analyzing the end credits, said that the tune was "Pop Goes the Weasel," and that references back to the first appearance in Encounter at Farpoint of Data, who was trying to whistle it or sing it or something like that. I think I can't remember. I would have to go back and watch it.
That's
But
very
he,
interesting too.
yeah. Well, we know a Sung android is going to show up, whether it's Lore or one of Noonien Sung's offspring. Who knows?
And now we also know that the Amanda Plummer character is going to do everything she can to kind of damage the ship or damage Starfleet slowly but surely. She's just going to pick off bit by bit until she can, it becomes so crippling to Starfleet, which I love this idea, that Starfleet might not even be able to function. Um, and she has a ton of weapons, but weapons that they've never even seen, they haven't identified. What do you think about that, Julian?
Um, I I don't know. Um, she was certainly kind of chewing the scenery a bit. She was enjoying her role with relish and a little bit of onions on top of there. Um, I think we need to find out more about why she's so hell bent to get him, to
you
find out
don't
what's going on.
you don't think it's just because he's done bad things? You think there's something else? There's another
Oh
reason?
yeah, there's definitely got to be something more going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It must be. I'm sorry.
Gives insight.
I didn't know that was coming. Well, and then there's this microneurographic scan, and I don't know if it means that whoever scan it is has a problem with their brain or brain function or whatever is going on, but that's also kind of interesting. Um, but you said it was the exact same. It's the same screens from before. The damage,
Yeah.
I guess, that they're showing is significant. but I don't know exactly which damage it is. Although, what did you think of the what did you think of the what did I call it? The tractor beam block where they just kind of smack right in between the thing. What did you think of that?
That was pretty darn cool.
Was
So
that
they just
the
inserted
LaForge pilot
themselves
do
right
that?
in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Was it? Did she do it? Did the LaForge pilot do that?
I assume so.
Yeah, that was badass when she started talking about what her father taught her about physics and how you could overcome certain laws of physics with enough power. She's like, and she talks about blunt force trauma, and she makes it like a medical condition. Um,
Yeah.
the ships are sentient beings, right? I mean, we accept that, at least from what they've said, that the ship's computer is a sentient being. So the ship itself, I guess it would be like it had kind of trauma against it because it is
Yeah.
a sentient being. At least that's how I look at it. um Julian. um
He was
uh
kind of Shaw was pretty dismissive of her, and he should at least know who her father is and his reputation in the engineering community alone. You know, it's like, you might want to listen to what she's saying here.
Yeah, I think so. And it is kind of surprising that we see, I think they're taking the threat seriously. However, I don't think that they thought anything was going to happen to them. I think that they thought they were going to be in there and out rather quickly, and that they wouldn't kind of be in this position having a foe who's so strong as Shaw, which clearly she's incredibly strong here. Um, this is she has the advantage, and she's taking advantage of the situation, and I somehow don't think she's alone. I don't think she's acting alone. um
Perhaps
who is
not.
who is the because we already know that they this when Rafi was speaking to Sneed, and I'm gonna kind of show this, let me see. She swore that it was not that other person. That person was being blamed. Now, it didn't matter because by the time she confronts Sneed, I don't have a picture of her with Sneed, but
All
by
right.
the time she confronts Sneed, it's too late, in a sense, because the other guy's head is right there. How does Worf play into this? Do you think Worf is working with Rafi? Is he her backup? Like what? What do
He,
you
he
think?
was the guy. She was her handler.
Oh, so he is.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember, he picks her up and he's taking her out, and he said, "I told you not to engage."
Oh, okay. Okay. See, this is why I need you to be here, Julian.
Yeah, which is I kind of had a feeling. I think it was pretty. It was being telegraphed. I think in the first episode when he was using this, you are a warrior and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, yeah, that just might be Worf, and at least one guess of mine was correct.
No, that's excellent. Yeah, well, Rafi certainly put herself in a bad position there. And not only did she put herself in a bad position, but she kind of fell for this trap that Sneed, was going to lay before her. But it didn't seem. Thanks so much, Mark Spector's avatar. It's good to see you. Yeah, this is something really just so unbelievable. I liked it too, Thomas, that blocking of the beam. We saw some aggressive piloting that we don't normally see. That thing we saw, kind of the I'm going to smack your ship with another ship smackdown. Um, and we also saw this situation where the captain, I think he doesn't know what to do anymore. I think he feel like has he lost control of his ship?
No, I don't think so. Um, I think we're going to see them putting their heads together and trying to work the situation. Um, everything I'm everything I'm hearing, we've heard from Rob, and what I'm hearing from other people that have seen episodes already leads me to believe that we're going to see more of them working and together and working the situation and working like actual competent Starfleet officers. which I'm looking forward to seeing more of.
Yeah, and I agree with you about the Tony Montana Ferengis. He was very much
Let
like
me introduce you to my little friend.
that. It really was. I think it's very interesting to see that. Um, Medallion says, yeah, I guess everybody thought there was going to be gold pressed latinum because that was the item that I so accustomed to seeing Ferengis talk about. But yeah, Darth Vader says Shaw lost control when the ship was taken. Next stop, board of inquiry. I have a feeling they're not going to be able to answer to anybody yet for a while. It might have to kind of leave. Um, but it's something to think about. Some of you guys are waiting to the last episode to watch this whole thing. It really was a fun episode to watch. Julian, what were some of your favorite moments that we haven't spoken about in the episode?
Um, I we've talked about everything that really that I found outstanding. I'm still wondering why there was an access panel so conveniently inside the cell for anyone to access if they knew what they were doing, which they should assume that if you put somebody in there, percentage of people might know what to do.
Yeah, it is something to think about, and I think that we were really oh, thanks, Ryan. Ryan is saying it's up there. Yeah, maybe it is. So guys, if you don't have access, maybe you could access it that way. So that's something to think about. But to be honest with you, Julian, I think that this episode was just really enjoyable. And it kind of for me it topped the first one. I liked this slightly more aggressive episode where we saw, officers being officers, taking action, except for maybe the captain who didn't want to take action, but now he finds himself where he has to do it. He's like, we only have 15 minutes. So think of something, please.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are the legends. You're supposed to be good at this, right?
That's exactly I think what he's saying. He's saying this was honestly something that is right up your wheelhouse, guys. Please go
Yeah.
ahead and show me what you can come up with. This situation, Mike Shriver, hi Mike, says this trek was absolute finest at how it is shown and should have been, so to speak, back in season 1. Yeah, it would have been very different.
Yep.
Do we know this for sure, Medallion, that he's not a tactically inclined captain? Do we know that? What I can say is he does not want, he's a reluctant captain. I don't think Shaw is, we don't really know his history. Maybe somebody knows. Maybe somebody knows. Medallion, do you know something we don't know? But let's say just from those first 2 episodes, I can't say whether Shaw is or isn't, that way for me, Medallion. But thank you for mentioning that anyway. Yeah. So that there is that. Um and then when he makes this snarky remark about how 7 of 9 got her post back, and I'm like, he's very wishy-washy about it. I think what Shaw is doing is that he throws around the ability to instate her or reinstate her because he has that power over her. What do you think?
I'm sorry. What was that? What was that again?
I was saying that Shaw is very wishy-washy when it comes to whether 7 of 9 is still an officer, and I think that this is not the first time he's done this. I think that he's thrown around his ability that he has over her as to whether or not she will be, number 1. I think he's done this maybe throughout her entire time of serving with him and kept her kind of on eggshells. In a sense, and he might say, yeah, just make sure things don't go bad, make sure this doesn't happen. The reminders that he might be giving her time and time again while she's been serving with him, and she's just fed up at this point with everything that he has been telling her or has to say. But I'm wondering if he's been doing that because he seems like he likes to have that hovering over her.
Well, his style of command leaves something to be desired. That's for sure. I am not clear as to how long he has been in command or how long they have been serving with each other. I mean, it could be a very, very new situation. Uh, Sounds like there was refits and all sorts of things. This might have been more of a. They were probably getting ready to do some sort of a shakedown, um, coming out of the dock. So, I mean, again, we don't know how long Seven's been on board. How long it's been since she was, made XO of the Titan. And what is odd is if he has these issues about her, Borg past. I mean, usually, at least in Starfleet, the way they've couched it is usually the captain has an awful lot of choice in who his officers are going to be, so or who their officers are going to be. I'm sorry. So it's odd if he did make the choice for her to come aboard as his XO. What was the reasoning there? One would think that if he had issues with her, that he would have chosen someone else.
Yeah, that's what's so weird about it is that he could have gotten anybody to serve with him, and yet he feels that he can kind of, have 7 of 9 there and do whatever he wants to, I think, in a sense. But I also think, maybe now the other side, the other flip side of this, Julian, is that he likes her being there because he doesn't have to do as much work.
I'm not necessarily picking that up from him, but
Okay.
maybe I don't. When he, a captain, they get their time off. They don't have to always be, on the bridge. But it seems that yes, that's interesting. This Vatic seems to know a lot about Federation people in particular. That why have they been studying them?
Yeah.
Don't you study that kind of stuff when you're planning to be in opposition to them? Don't you? So that you can get leverage on them. I mean, why would she know so well who this captain is? How would she wouldn't have expected that ship was going to show up out there.
Yeah, that's very true. And John, hey John, says Shaw has been captain of the Titan for 5 years. And
Okay.
Seven serving as first officer would have been at most a year given the time from Picard season 2.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. So that is very interesting. Um, yeah. Medallion was saying maybe, and I'm assuming he's talking about the Amanda Plummer character. Is she an empath? This is something that I
Nah.
had thought about, which would give her an advantage. I had not thought. I don't know. Um, uh, and Mike says 7 of 9 as first officer wouldn't give shot insight on the Borg. No other captain would have. Yeah, she does look amazing. Yes, Efren, I can't get over how good Jerry Ryan looks in this. I love seeing her in this, and I love the thought of her being number 1 and
She
possibly a
just
captain.
had a birthday.
Yeah, she's amazing. I love Jerry Ryan. Um, Oh, Joey says, I'm glad they didn't pair these episodes in one pilot because it builds itself off like a rocket. Yeah, Joey, I agree. I like getting these episodes, released one episode at a time. I think they did the right thing, and I've been enjoying it. What about you, Julian? Are you glad that it's one episode at a time?
Yes, I prefer that. I think it's certainly there's I've never really, not to say that I haven't, because I've binged shows before, but I prefer, especially stuff like that, where you get the time to talk about it with friends. And when TNG first came out, that was the Saturday night. That was the thing to do. Was get together with friends and watch TNG. We'd have Star Trek parties. We had a group that was the Starfleet International, and we would all get together and do potluck and play games and watch Next Generation. It was awesome.
Well,
So
this feels awesome. John is talking about how he loves the music. The soundtrack sounds great. The effects sound very good. The slicing of flesh when Worf was there sounded very good. So there is that. Thank you so much, Mark. I trust me, I am going to wrap this up, Mark. Um, any last thoughts about tonight's episode, Julian?
just giving us more questions, and as far as answers, I think there's actually not no certainty to those answers that we've received so far, at least to my mind. More questions and uncertain answers.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great seeing Worf. We really haven't heard or understood or learned anything. We still don't know who this kid is. We just saw all we saw was Beverly kind of come out and do this nod, and it's like, oh, they've got to look towards one another, but we just don't know what's going on in regards to who this kid is. um and that's okay, I guess. I guess it's okay. I think that even if we don't know, we might not find out who he is. There's no reason not to, because it's Star Trek. But I just was thinking or how he came about, if Beverly kind of found some way to do this, or whatever it was. But I've got to tell you, Julian, this has been so much fun to watch the first two episodes. I'm excited for the third episode.
Me too.
It feels really good to be excited about Star Trek right now. I still have to go back and rewatch that episode a few times to figure out some details that I missed. Like, for example, hearing Worf say, I told you not to go in, or whatever. And everybody's like, yeah, that's obviously her handler. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. So I'm going to have to go in there after a good night's sleep and watch the episode again. Julian, you and I will meet and review the episode, certainly. And I do just want to thank everybody who showed up tonight for tuning in. Guys, just really thank you. I enjoyed all your comments tonight. Tom Jr. Jackson, moderator and collaborator. We were all goof people. Thank you for supporting the channel as always.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody out there, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always do remember to please be kind. And I got my live long and prosper, guys. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Take care.